Hi everyone. Let's correct workbook page 111 where you had to learn about lines. Number 1 is a line segment. 2, a line. 3, line segment. 4, all those are rays. It has one point and then an arrow that continues out in all directions. Those are all rays. So you could have had ray. Number 5 was none. Number 6, rays. And that's number 6 is kind of what we're going to be talking about today. 2 rays put together creates an angle, and so those are 2 rays. Number 7 is a ray, and number 8 is a line. Number 9, you had to draw something that was parallel to that line. And remember, anything that is equal distance at every point so the lines do not intersect would be a parallel line. Number 10, your lines had to cross somewhere. So they were not perpendicular. So the one wasn't straight up and down and one wasn't straight across. So it had to be intersecting somehow, not to create a right angle, but just to intersect. For number 11, you had to create them so it would make a right angle or a perfect corner. One up and one down. Okay, so let's start lesson 9.2, which would be in your textbook on page 306 and 307, and you need that and a piece of paper, so pause the video and get your things ready. Okay, let's look at page 306. Today we're going to learn about angles, and we're going to learn about 3 different kinds of angles, 3 different types. And these were in your vocabulary words for the week. So you had some lines that we did for yesterday. Today you're working on angles. So there are 3 angles: right angle, acute angle, and obtuse angle. So let's talk about these a little bit. A right angle is formed when there's a perfect corner, and sometimes you see a little box there, which means it's a perfectly right angle corner. And this is created with perpendicular lines. Remember, we learned that yesterday. Perpendicular lines. One line goes straight up and down, and another one crosses the opposite way. And they're both lines. So to create a perfect right angle, see, I put that box there, you have to have one up and one sideways. And all angles are formed by rays. So there's a starting point and then a line that continues. A starting point and a line that continues. So 2 rays put together create an angle. Acute angle. So you have your right angle. If it's smaller than a right angle, it's smaller than that perfect corner, it's called acute angle. And I like to think about it like this. If it's small, it's kind of cute, right? So acute angle. Do you get it? Something that's little is cute. Acute angle is smaller than a right angle. That's my little tip. Obtuse angle is larger than a right angle. That means the point where it starts and the rays that come out are further apart than making a perfect corner. Obtuse. So those are our 3 angles that we're going to talk about this week. Right, acute, and obtuse. So let's go ahead and start looking at our textbook, and let's look at some of these, starting with number 1. Number 1, and the directions say, how many angles does each figure have? So if you look at that box, there are how many corners on that box? Count all the corners. 4. 4 corners on that, well, it's a rectangle. It's not really a box. A rectangle. So there are 4 angles. There are 4 corners. There are 4 right angles on that rectangle. Number 2, does it have a point and then rays that come out? No. A circle doesn't have any angles, so there's 0. How about number 3, a triangle? How many angles are in a triangle? 3. 1 on the top and 2 on sides on the bottom. 3. Number 4, a pentagon. How many angles are on a pentagon? There are 5. 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top corners, and then 1 at the point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, number 5 through 8. Tell if the angle is a right angle, acute angle, or an obtuse angle. Okay, so let's think about these. Right angle makes the perfect corner. Acute angle is little, smaller than a right angle. Obtuse is larger. So number 5. Those angles would be, what do you think? Acute. They're smaller than the right angle. Number 6. That top one, that top angle is larger than the right angle, so it is obtuse. Please pause the video and you try 7 and 8 and then unpause and see what you get. See if you are correct. Pause the video and try 7 and 8. Number 7 is a perfect right angle. It has one that's straight up and down and one that's across. So it's a perfect right angle. And number 8 is also a right angle. Okay, let's go on to page 307. We're going to look at some clocks. Since it has a point in the middle and that has 2 hands, 2 rays that come out, a clock hands make and create an angle. So let's look at number 9. The directions say, tell if the angle formed by the hands of the clock is a right angle, an acute angle, or an obtuse angle. So the first one, number 9, is at 3 o'clock. Number 9. Here are the hands of the clock. One is at 3 and one is at 12. That is creating, number 9 is creating a right angle. Number 9 is right. Number 10, let's look at those hands. One hand is up at the 12. Here's our point that it starts at. Here's our point that it starts at for the rays. And the next hand, the little hand, the hour hand, goes up to the 1. And it's smaller than the right angle. So it's cute. It's a cute little angle. It's acute. Number 11. Pause the video and try number 11. See what you find. Okay, number 11. The hour hand is at the 7. And the big hand is going up to the 12. Oops, that should be an arrow, not a dot, not a point. Okay, there we go. So it's larger than the right angle, but it's not smaller. It's definitely larger than the right angle. So it's obtuse. Number 11 would be obtuse. Okay. So why don't you pause the video and try 12, 13, and 14. And when you come back, we'll see if you got them correct. We'll check your answers together. So try 12, 13, and 14. Okay? Okay, let's look at 12. Number 12. Here is the figure. It wants you to look at the figures A and B for 12, 13, and 14. So let me draw these. Let me draw the figures. One kind of looks like this, and this is figure A. See if I can get it kind of correct. Here's A, and here's B. This is figure B. Okay, so number 12 asks, which figure has one right angle? Only one. Well, figure B has 2. We can tell right away there are 2 perfect corners on B. So let's look at A. This is a right angle, but this is a larger, this is an obtuse angle, This is a acute angle because it's smaller than a right angle, and so is this one. This one is an acute angle also. So figure A is the only one that has one right angle. So number 12 is A. Number 13. Which figure has two right angles? Well, we already talked about that. We saw 2 on B and only 1 on A. So which figure has 2 right angles? And B, figure B. 13 is B. Number 14. Which figure has 2 acute angles? Remember, acute is smaller than a right angle. This one has 2, because this is smaller than a right angle. But so is this one. So this one has 3 acute angles. This one would have, this one's larger, so this one is acute, and this one is acute. There's 2. Which figure has 2 acute angles? That would be A. This one is larger. This one is obtuse. So there's 2 acute. Okay, so for today, you're going to work more on angles in your workbook page. So go ahead and do workbook page 112, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.